I want to make you feel very warm, very welcome, and give a huge round of applause for Andrew Brown!
'Cause I ain't got a brand new pump, my harvester, and I'll give you the key. Come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. I got 20 acres, and you've got 43. Now I got...
Well, good evening, Leicester. Have you all had a good time? I'll soon put a stop to that. In case it's not obvious, I'm a farmer. Got any farmers in the audience? No, I didn't think so. Bit of a miserable moaning bunch, aren't they? 5-minute conversation with a group of farmers, you feel like going home and having a bath with a toaster. Difference between a farmer and a jumbo jet. Jumbo jet stops whining when it lands at Tenerife Airport. Bit worried about being here tonight because I've missed the archers. That means I haven't got the first clue what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow now. Now, I know it's going to be hard to believe for you, but I did actually win this competition last year. Made a few changes on the farm since then. I've gone organic. Organic food's no better for you than any other sort of food. Just fills you full of smugness. So, people often ask me what I farm. EU subsidies is the answer. I'm pretty well stuffed now, aren't I? So this whole Brexit thing, it's going really well, isn't it? You've got Cameron, Rees-Mogg and Johnson all went to Eton. If that's the calibre of Eton's ex-pupils, I think Eton wants putting in special measures. Mr. Cameron, who soon disappeared, didn't he, when he lost the referendum? Reminds me of that Billy Ocean song. When the going gets tough, the toff fucks off. So, live in the countryside, obviously, as a farmer, and we farmers occasionally use pesticides for getting rid of pests. So, insecticide for killing insects, herbicide for killing weeds. I thought maybe there should be a new definition of the word countryside. And that is what the police will charge you with for murdering Jacob Rees-Mogg. So does anyone watch Country File on a Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night comfort telly, isn't it? And they did a report recently on the level of education in rural schools. Apparently 85% of kids in rural schools these days can't count above 7 in French. Nothing to do with the quality of the teaching, but it's everything to do with a massive rise in intolerance to wheat. So, as well as being a farmer, I'm also a student. I've just done a law degree at De Montfort University, DMU, or DMU, as we farmers like to call it. The law and agriculture, pretty similar. Both involve digging the dirt and dealing with a lot of shit. I first graduated from the University of Nottingham in 1985 with a triple first, or third, as some people like to call it. Got any lawyers in the audience? Yeah? Well, I know there's at least one, because I'm married to one. But, doing stand-up and being a lawyer, they're pretty similar too. Both those activities involve standing in front of a group of strangers and lying a lot. So I had various jobs before I became a farmer. One time I worked for an undertaker. Taught me how to think outside the box. A lot of people don't realise that funeral is an anagram of real fun. And we certainly had some real fun at some of the funeral services I was involved with. First job they gave me when I worked for the undertaker was to play the tunes that people would request at their loved one's final departure. And what they didn't realise was that I'm actually CD dyslexic, so putting me in charge of a CD machine to play the tunes is probably not such a good idea. One family asked for a tune from The Wizard of Oz, for their grandmother's final departure, and the tune they were expecting was Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Way Up High. Beautiful song for an old lady's funeral. Unfortunately, the next track on the CD was Ding Dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Guess which one I played? And when you say to the mourners afterwards, look guys, it was a simple mistake, it was the next track on the CD, it doesn't really seem to calm them down very much. A lot of people don't know that Ernie Crutchley, the man who wrote the Okie Kokie, spent his last few years in Leicestershire, and we got the job of doing the funeral. So after he died, we had to go to the mortuary to pick him up. And we got the body laid out next to the coffin, and things were going fine until we tried to put his left leg in. And it started to go downhill quite rapidly after that. We also did the funeral of the man who invented the dishwasher, and we lowered the coffin into the grave, and then his wife took it out and put it in again the other way round. So as well as being a farmer, I'm also a magistrate, JP, and as such have to go into prisons occasionally. And I thought I recognised one or two on this table here. Didn't you share a cell with that guy? No, maybe not. So yeah, I have to go into prisons, and as you might imagine, mobile phones are very valuable items in jail. The cheapest one you get from Tesco's, 20 quid, whatever it is, worth over 500 on the inside. So they try and smuggle them in at every possible opportunity. And suspicions were aroused recently. By the way, this guy was walking, and he was walking a bit like this. And his eyes were stuck out like chapel hat pegs. And the prison officer said, "We think you've got a mobile phone." And he said, "I haven't." Like that. And then all of a sudden, every second step, he started going, and what he'd done was inserted a mobile phone about his person, remembered to switch it on to silent, but forgotten to take the vibrate mode off, and one of his mates rang him up. So this part of the story is actually true. What goes up must come down, and eventually said mobile phone reappears, closely followed by another mobile phone, which was followed by a charger. Now, I can't help thinking that has got to be the most excruciating butt plug ever to be inserted. And surely Apple are missing a trick here somewhere, because they could be using this as a marketing ploy. You know, the new iPhone 10, not only with face recognition technology, but also with arse recognition technology. So, I've led quite a sheltered life, and I don't really know whether a butt plug is a fetish or a perversion. But someone did tell me the difference the other day, and apparently a fetish is where you take a single swan's feather and you tease and caress your partner during your intimate moments to the point of ecstasy. And a perversion is where you do the same thing, but you use the whole swan. Now I'm going to leave you with a song, and some of you may know this song, so please do feel free to join in with the chorus, and especially the whistling. Some things in life are bad, they can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. That'll help things turn out not so bad. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. When life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. If you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. Always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. So I'm off back to Rutland now, and if ever I see any of you lot walking across my farm, I've got one thing to say to you, and that is, get off my bloody land! Thank you very much.